FnaF 1, you all know you work as a security guard from 12 to 6 a.m. Now, we get these calls from a guy who we just know as Phone Guy, who also used to work there. We don't know why he's not working there anymore or what happened, but he's like,
hello? I won't talk quite as long this time since Freddy and his friends tend to become more active as the week progresses. It might be a good idea to peek at those cameras while I talk, just to make sure everyone's in their proper place, you know.
like tutoring us, I guess, in how to work there. He tells us that a missing person report will be filed in 90 days and everything will be cleaned if we go missing. Which is incredibly suspicious if you think about it now. When I was playing the game, I didn't actually really listen to him, but that is actually kind of suspicious. Anyways, let's rewind. Let's rewind like a couple years. The Fazbear Pizzeria place was opened by, or FNAF 1 was opened by William Afton and a guy named Henry. And these guys were like best friends. They were co-workers. They opened up the first place. And they had like these animatronic like Springlock suits. Those were their first animatronics. And what you do is you just like climb in the suits. It would be a person who was in the suits. They'd warn you to not let the Springlocks get wet, because if the Springlocks got wet, they would lock. And then whoever was in the animatronic suit would pretty much get crushed and die. And the only thing you could see through the animatronic suit were their eyes. William, he has a kid named Michael Afton, who is the oldest. And then he has a kid named Elizabeth, who I am pretty sure is one of the youngest. And then he has Evan, who I'm pretty sure is like the very youngest. And then he also has a wife. And yeah, that's all the background you really need to know. Henry has Charlie, his daughter, her name is Charlie. And anyway, they open up this place. The kids love it. They get really popular. They get a lot of recognition and stuff. And then things start going downhill. Because as you know, William Afton has some mental issues. He's quite psychotic. I think he actually needs to go to a mental hospital or someplace, because I honestly think he was not mentally well. Because he decided to get in the suit and start luring kids to a secret safe room, which is in the back, where employees were not supposed to go and patrons or people who were there were also not allowed to go in. So it was only him who could go in there. And he would start luring kids in the back and killing them. And then once he killed them, he would stuff them inside the animatronic suits, okay? He would stuff them into spare suits they had, and they would get trapped in there. And he did that to 5 different kids. He murdered 5 different kids in a secret back room because he got a psychotic urge to do so. He should have been locked up or something, but you know what? Of course, the parents find out their kids are missing. They have to close down the place because, you know, the kids are missing. They close down the place. It's all linked back. Everyone thinks that William did it. I don't know what proof they have, but they all think William did it. Even Henry thinks William did it. Honestly, William, you're kind of sus. Anyway, the place gets closed down. People start, also before it gets closed down, people are complaining about odor in the suits. They're saying that it stinks. They're saying that they haven't been cleaned. They're saying that it looks like blood and goo is coming out of them. People aren't a fan of this place no more. But yeah, that happens. And so we take on a night shift. Before it gets closed down, we're on a night shift anyway. And yeah, and Phone Guy tells us about the bite of 1987. And nobody actually really knows which animatronic did it. It could have been Foxy, it could have been Freddy, it could have been Bonnie, it could have been Chica. Nobody really knows which animatronic did the bite of 87. There are some theories. Like, if you notice in Foxy, he always says, "It's me." Could have been Foxy. But sometimes at the top of your screen, you'll see "It's me" too if you get jump scared by a certain animatronic. So, no, people have theories, but no one really knows. Another thing Phone Guy tells you is that if the animatronics see you, they will stuff you into a metal endo suit. Okay? Because they'll think that you are an endoskeleton, so they'll stuff you inside a suit. The only thing with this is that there is an endoskeleton in the storage room that the animatronics constantly go on. Like Bonnie, that's one of Bonnie's spots. Bonnie will chill there, and Bonnie never tried to stuff the endoskeleton into a suit. So Phone Guy's theories fall completely through with that. And either Phone Guy knows that, or Phone Guy like doesn't know that, or Phone Guy knows it and he's not trying to let us on to something. But anyway, not once does Bonnie try to stuff the endoskeleton in the parts and service room into a suit. Therefore, you know that when you're back there, they know that you're not an endoskeleton. They know that you're a person, which is kind of scary. I personally think that they know you're a person and they're hoping that you're William Afton, because that's the only person who would make sense. They don't want anyone else. They want William Afton. They want to get revenge on William for what he did to them when they were kids. Well, they're still kids, but like, you know what I mean. And so every night they try and kill the person in the security room to see if it's William Afton and to try and kill him. So guys, that's like mostly the background right there. And that's pretty much FNAF 1 right there. That's pretty much it, guys. As I said, FNAF 1, I feel like it doesn't have that much lore. It's mostly like a base story to it. If you listen to that night 4, he said that he was gonna hide himself in a suit and that he wanted someone to come check for him.
Oh, hey, wow, day 4. I knew you could do it. Hey, listen, I may not be around to send you a message tomorrow. It's been a bad night here for me. I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you when I did. Hey, do me a favor. Maybe sometime you could check inside those suits in the back room. I'm going to try to hold out until someone checks. Maybe it won't be so bad. I always wondered what was in all those empty heads back there. You know. Oh no.
I just realized that. I didn't actually realize that before, but I just realized that. And we never went and checked for him. I don't think we sent anyone back there to check for him. That's kind of sad. I don't know if he must have been somewhere because they didn't sound too pre-recorded. They might have been. Maybe he recorded them when he was in the office, or he recorded them, he's in a different office somewhere. He never says why he stopped working there, or if he's still working there at a different location, or if he's like previously worked there but not working there anymore. It's all up to what you guys want to think happened. You can hear Freddy's music at the end of that. That's what happens when you run out of power. So it sounded like he ran out of power of some sort, because he was banging on the doors before, and then the Freddy music started playing. So he ran out of power, and then probably Freddy came in and ripped his soul apart, I guess, or jump scared him. I don't know if Freddy managed to get him because he said he was hiding in a suit. I don't know if it worked or not. Then night 5, you just hear garble garble. So I'm assuming that the spring locks closed on him. That's just my theory. I'm assuming they closed on him so he wasn't able to speak properly, and that would be all the gargling that he was doing in the messaging, probably asking for help or something, or like maybe it was too late and he was like an animatronic now. Like, he could have been a friendly animatronic. He could have been a friendly. I don't. There aren't many of them, but he could have been a friendly one, or he could be one of the ones that are trying to kill us in FNAF 2, or even in FNAF 1. I don't know. He could be one of them. He could not be. Probably not in FNAF 1. I think those are the 5-year-old children. I don't really know what happened to Phone Guy, to be honest. He could still be alive. We don't know if it's the same Phone Guy for FNAF 2 and 3. Is that the same Phone Guy, or is that a different Phone Guy? That's the real thing. Same Phone Guy or different Phone Guy? Like, that would clear some things out if we knew if it was the same guy or a different guy, but we don't know. So we don't know if he was saved or if he wasn't saved. People think it's the same guy. Some people think it wasn't the same guy. I'm not sure, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. That was the FNAF 1 lore. Also, I forgot to mention, the place didn't close down right after the kids were killed. I made it seem like that, but that's not what happened. It didn't close down until several months later. Up to like a year later even. It didn't close down until up to like a year after the kids were killed. And that's when it closed down. So we were working there after the kids were killed. But it was still open. It was still open during the day. But it closed down later because people were too suspicious of William and the murders. Well, guys, that's where I'm going to leave that video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you guys understand a little bit more of the story. And I'll be doing FNAF 2 next, where we get even deeper into the lore. Way more lore in FNAF 2. I'm excited for it.